Hey, Bill, I'm quoting a lot of jobs. Is there any way that I can create a template to make quoting these jobs a little bit quicker and easier? Well, that's the topic of this week's Planning for Profit Minute. In the proposal tool, you can absolutely create templates. In fact, I encourage you to create templates. It will make quoting your jobs much, much easier. You know as well as I that there are certain systems that you quote over and over again. Maybe it's that 80,000 BTU furnace and a 2-ton cooling side, or 80,000 BTU furnace, 2.5 ton, 80,000, 3-ton, right? You can create as many templates in the system as you would like, which will take care of the vast majority of the entry work in creating your proposal itself. So let me show you how to do that. In my system, I can see here that I quoted this job, and I'll take this one here, right? We quoted this job for, here we go, John Pertucci, right? And he's here in town. And so that's a very typical job that I would typically use. Well, as I look at that one, I can see over on the right with my icons, the far right-hand icon is copy. So you can copy that proposal, and you can do that anyway. Hey, this job is very similar to the last one I did last week. I could copy it and start over, and much of the work is already done. But I can use this to make a template as well. So I'm going to take this job, right, that I did for John Pertucci, right, and over here on the right, I'm simply going to click on copy. All right, so we'll copy that proposal. When I do that, it's now going to open up a new proposal. Now, here's one of the things. The proposal number will be reassigned and automatically generated every time you create a new proposal. You can, if you notice you got the little pencil there, you can change that proposal number, right? And so I'm simply going to click on the pencil, and I'm going to call this one, I'm going to change this, so template, so we're going to list that first, 80,000 BTU, on the heating side, 2-ton cooling. All right, now, my standard proposal, I give them options for both AC as well as heat pump in my 4 options, and so that pretty much covers it. Now, once I've done that, I can, again, the first thing you want to do, you'll notice the name has now changed up there when I hit enter. You always want to hit recalculate. That's kind of like your save button, if you will, in the software. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit recalculate. It tells me success, that's now been calculated. Now, the one thing I notice in here is, my gosh, it still has Mr. Pertucci's name and address in here. We don't need to have that, right? So again, this is in the template. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete the name out. Now, when you do that, it says the customer name field is required. All right. I'm simply going to put in here customer. Same thing with the address. We don't need that. That doesn't apply anymore. So we're just simply going to put in address. Again, to save and lock this all in, I'm going to go ahead and click on recalculate. So now when I do that, it's now saved this template. You can see it's in the draft stage at this point, so it's ready to be used. And so it has on it all of my equipment, right? So this is my 80,000 BTU heating option with a 2-ton cooling option. I've got my 4 different tiers. My install materials that I'm typically going to use, those are all factored in there. So now, when I'm out here and I go into proposals and I'm looking at my proposal list, I can see very quickly, there's my template for an 80,000 BTU furnace, 2-ton cooling. Right? And so every time I want to now quote that job or use that system, I'll simply come back in here, hit the copy, and I'm going to make a copy of this template. As soon as I do that, it's going to automatically now generate and put a new proposal number in there. And now I can simply go in, add my customer's name, right? So this is going to be, right, go to Alan Coolio here, right? I can put in his address. Right, got that one in. Again, anytime I'm in there, I hit recalculate. That's my save button, right? So when I do that, I've now written all that information in, and I start out with my proposal pretty much all put together. All I need to do now is come in here. Are there any specific notes that I want to enter in for this particular job? Do I want to change the financing options that we have available? Along with that, are we going to give a discount for this particular job? And do I change the scope of work statements or load, travel time, any of those things that would be in there? But the vast majority of the work for creating the proposal is already done. Makes your job much, much quicker, and you can get that solid professional proposal out to your customer. So even in this case, just that quick, we've now made a proposal for our customer that we can now email out that's completely laid out and customized for this customer. That is this week's Planning for Profit Minute.